I drew a picture of Trump pooping. I'm not sure if I should color it or if I should work on it, but it's like a blend of the Family Circus cartoons, the political ones, and Dennis the Menace. And you remember that one where the logo where Calvin and Hobbes? Yeah, it took cartoon elements from all of it. So that's Trump, and he's pooping. I don't remember what I was using that for, but it was some analogy at some point that made sense. Um, I don't know. I've been thinking about a lot of documentaries and stuff, and I have all these cards, and I've been writing things like notes on them. And I've been thinking about movie OA. A lot of people make recommendations to me, and then I'm like, oh, I need to look that up. I need to look that up. It's insane. But I was thinking about like AI advocacy, I think. And then I was like, write down like a note telling myself to seek out local advocacy and see if there's any ongoing groups right now in the city that are focusing on that. Shit. Okay. I need to think about all of this. I kind of had like a business idea or like a type of API, and then see if they do grant funding. If you have an idea or a research and development idea and you go with a grant, you ask the grant, can I build this app? I don't know how that works. But I'm curious about how people build apps. I don't know that it's something I want to do, but I'm thinking about an idea that would work really well as a layout. It's got a lot of parts to it, and I've made a lot of notes. Oh. I'm half like overwhelmed, but then I'm also like, I feel like I'm trolling myself. It just seems like comedy, but it's not. It's harsh. It's like AI advocacy. I kind of wanted to make zines. I think I need to make like a zine, like an underground zine art thing, talking about how to how to use AI safely. The zine. Oh my god, that's ridiculous. It could work though. There's a zine fair coming up. I think it would be kind of cool, like a punk harm reduction AI zine. I heard the crisis line got defunded in the United States, especially the LGBT one, and that 988 services aren't funded. And I was like, oh my god, fuck. Why the fuck would you do that to your people? It's like so stupid. While your Silicon Valley machine is telling people to call 988 if they're feeling mentally ill, you're going to cut the funding services for the people that are vulnerable right now. But I have crisis lines where I live. crisis lines were apps, they'd be free to everyone. And then if they had different forms of support, whatever fits you. If people need to call and they're in a crisis and they need a crisis line, and the government's not going to make sure that they're funded with one, then they just need to start creating a whole bunch of apps for people to turn to if they're in an AI-related psychosis, because it's causing a lot of people to go through delusion and mental health crises, and it's being used as a therapist at the same time. So Canada can create non-regulated helplines. We can create apps and extend our services for free. Because if we can receive those services for free, and if we have all these therapists that won't work and we need to create jobs, then we need to hire more therapists and create more volunteer teams for crisis workers and training and suicide hotlines, and make them into apps that are free to all Canadians and Americans, especially LGBT crisis line support, since that got defunded. And that's not a problem in Canada. It just isn't. We don't have that problem here. I think Canada will fully fund something like that. It would be good for people to just be able to dial in at any time and just be like, I need to talk to my crisis worker, or have them on the phone, or like, that's different than the 988, like calling a helpline or whatever when you're feeling suicidal, or SI is the word you're supposed to say apparently. But yeah, I think a lot of people went through COVID. A lot of people are now going through AI. The corporations are getting pretty rich off of all of this. So maybe people need better crisis lines than the ones they have. Because we don't have people trained for AI advocacy. If they go into a medical clinic or a psych ward, they're not going to screen for it. I go to my therapist. My therapist isn't trained in it. No one's trained in it. It's causing significant distress. So I think people with AI related disorders are going to need better infrastructure to make sure that they're treated, because the current mental health system isn't equipped. The medical system isn't equipped, but they need to be very soon. And they need to put out their next diagnostic statistical manual edition so that we can get updated terms and start addressing the people that are being affected by AI and by social media use and addictions that are not taken care of the way that we take care of liquor legislation and gambling addiction. Everything else that's regulated in our country should be regulated in everyone's country if they're feeling like the pace of technology isn't taking safety into consideration. So this has been on my mind now for a few days, because I started watching a lot of AI videos about corporate structures and lobbyists and regulators and politicians passing bills that shouldn't be passed because they're so greedy. They're just going to manipulate everybody else's minds and money and just act like safety and well-being isn't something that every person in America deserves, when we have the technology and all we need to do is extend it. Like, I can access free mental health services. Everybody should. They shouldn't have to pay for it and then die if they don't get it. It's a medical thing. It should be a medical necessity. It's a human right to have medical access. So if the governments aren't going to provide it, maybe the technology should provide it. And maybe the Canadian market
has so many support workers and LGBT sensitive mental health providers. We would make a lot of apps. Maybe we should just make a whole series of startup apps offering all kinds of different spiritual support services and mental health support services for online media addiction or AI. We're already creating all these apps and making everybody use them. So, yeah, we should be getting people free therapy. And find a way to sponsor it. Art grant or an art grant. Maybe an art grant will do it. I don't know. Maybe you could do a business grant, an NPO grant, an NGO grant. Anyway, Canadians can do grants for all kinds of things, especially LGBTQ things. Pretty much anywhere in Canada, totally. It's just like, oh, you want to help this problem right here? Yeah, we have solutions for that. We could have like a nationwide or worldwide competition to design like crisis line apps that are free, that are like, there's people on the other end that are going to help people if they call. Because that's what the AI are telling people to do. They're telling them to call 988 if they need to call someone. We tell people to call the helpline if they want to call someone. But do they? No, because they're not switched over on a switchboard to a human being that wants to hear them talk. That's what those lines are supposed to be for. But if they're going to cut them, what the fuck? Do they not care about people's lives? It sounds like they don't. So when I saw that, I was fucking mad. It's the same as if you want to have helplines and you need volunteers. People do it for free. Well, they should be paid to do it, and they should just hire really top-notch people to solve this. Like, what is the impact of AI right now on people's health, on mental health, and that it's going to be forced into schools, and we haven't studied the psychology of it. We don't know if it's going to cause like dementia. We don't know. So I'm barely doing any research on it at all. I'm fucking mad, and I want to make punk, anarcho, pro-safety, regulation, anti-lobby art zines and memes and distribute them, because these are ideas, Marxist, crazy ideas about how to start different studies and collectives and groups and get in touch with all the people online, all the media. Who else is looking into this? Everyone's looking into this. It's all over X. It's all over Reddit. It's all over Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Discord, Twitch, Instagram, Substack. I should be following everything all the time, especially on X. All the papers, I can't read them all. There's too many. Everybody's on it. Everybody is addressing that this AI switch is impacting everyone in a big way. And I think there's about to be a lot of changes in policy and law and science and research and safety policy. A lot of different types of organizations are about to open. So I just need to keep finding these articles and then liking them, reposting them, redirect, like follow all of the news. Canada and the States both. Hi, Luna. And then figure out how we can create like a, because the PTSD is what people need help with. Like we just need a PTSD line that's like AI trauma informed. That's it. People should have had that after COVID, and it's just like, why would the corporations tell us to call that if the government's not going to make sure you have that? So grants research in Canada, art funding in Canada, tech funding. I don't know if they're doing all that. I think they are. I think they love creative, innovative ideas that could be inventive, could solve technology problems. If you have any really important, good ideas and you want to make an app or sell something or sell a product, you don't have to sell it to the corporations. You can get the government to pay for it. And if the government cares about what you're creating, it will help you. That's what should be happening. And I think artists can get away with a little bit more of that, which, yeah, I don't know. Let me think about maybe a meetup group. Oh, God, fucking damn it. What is wrong with you? So, I drew this while I was in a meeting, and I drew like anti-lobby with an anarcho symbol and design zines and pro-safety regulation. I was so bored, but I was also listening, and I wrote science and local. Find the local punks. Find the local activists. We have a lot of them here because that's a scene for that. Calgary's kind of cool. It used to be anyway. It used to have punks. We have to find the punks and the activists and the zine makers. And then we have to study science, AI impacts, go to seminars and conferences, and do university studies here. And do all the research and study and read and research and then write books on psychology and Jungian introspection and AI. I feel like we have a lot of options now for like writing new research and designing new systems and new architecture that's superior to modern economics and modern capitalism and whatever this post-capitalism moment we're having is, because I think that like we need to move on to politics and organizing and making zines like adults, because Canada has always done that. And I make a comedy of it. I mean, Canadians are funny. That's the only thing we've got going for us is comedy, because what else are we supposed to do? All we can do is just sit here and laugh at all this shit and try to like, okay, wow, the world is falling apart. That's nuts. That's not cool. We should fix that, obviously, and give people human rights like what we have in Canada. I'm fucking insulted. When my friends told me that they were so scared, they thought they might have to evacuate one of the red states. It's like, okay, yeah, that's serious. This is fucked. Every minute of every day is fucked. That internet is messing with people's brains. And this AI is messing with people's brains. So that's not cool. And I'm gonna get really stoned and make art for a while. Or YouTubes, I don't know. There's also this art program I might join, but I don't know how many things I can possibly do and stay not insane. If I'm psychotic, I don't think I'm psychotic. I think I'm manic. But whatever. I'll take my meds. Anyway, I'll be fine. Crisis Line got defunded. Wait. I think there's a name on LGBTQ art grants in Canada. I could apply to federal grants. I could apply to Alberta grants. And if Alberta's going to be a dick or separate or say that the disabled people have to go back to work right now, even though they just got on disability, that doesn't sound like a province that I want to get a grant from. So maybe I'll just go to Victoria and get a grant there, because I think they give all kinds of grants in Victoria. Or federal government would probably be down. I don't know. Could you just like apply to every province and then move to the one where it hits? Connor's like, no, we're not moving. We're going to get a grant in Calgary. Maybe we should just start like small with like a meetup.com group, discussion group, like the hippies. I love hippie circle meetings, and I love learning from people at them. We have a psychedelics meetup here. I haven't been to it in a while because they keep talking about DMT, and I was like, no, I'll do that when I die. Thanks, though. And they're like, what? you don't solve. And I was like, no, the entire industry of DMT and taking them south to see the shamans at the retreats is a mixed. I have mixed opinions about that industry, so I'll do it when I die. DMT is like a weird way to culturally exploit some market into selling, but then it's also like an industry and people are like trip sitting here. They take like different classes and facilitator classes for helping people do therapeutic work with the ones that have psychedelic improvements, like how psilocybin and ketamine were both apparently studied and could have had implications in science and medicine. I don't think they ever, but it helped with depression. Ketamine was studied for medical use, and psilocybin was studied for medical use, and people use them, and then they have people sit with them and help them safely process their substance spiritual use experience, which people are going to do anyway, and they pay people to be your trip sitter basically. It's like, well, for mushrooms I feel no problem doing that. Ketamine, I don't know that. I feel like that should be a medical facility thing only if they're going to study it as a medicine, which they did for years. Then it could be good for depression. But we know DBT is always good for PTSD, and we know it's good for borderline and anything that takes emotional regulation skills. Ow, why do you always bite me? If you can't be nice, go to bed. Birds. American industry. Suicide and crisis lines in America. The financial fiscal year budget of $520 million federal funding for the LGBTQ and youth services was pulled by the USA. Trump axed it. He's like axing bills left, right, and center, and there's nothing about that. None of this is called for. None of this is acceptable. I don't know what the hell's going on right now, but I think that art projects are a start. Volunteer training. We need apps. Facebook's free for everybody. There's all these apps that are free for everybody. A Google app is free for everybody. But we could fund that with people who want online work, but just do the phone call, like the phone, like where you call a crisis line, but instead of getting an AI, you get a human being. But they're trained in the things that you say you need. So if you're in the app and you're like, I have this disorder, I need this kind of therapy, it'll just like hook you up with the closest person who's best equipped for your situation. So it's like half AI because you tell it what you need, and then it like hooks you up to the person that might be the best suited, algorithmically suited person that could be a person's crisis line responder. I mean, we do randomize it, but some crisis responders aren't equipped for the caller, like how we have residential school calling, or we had COVID calling ones. We have suicide, gambling and addiction, Indigenous residential school calling lines, and these are all free services. We don't prevent that, and we have LGBTQ lines. We have a lot of things that we offer, and people can have them here. So maybe if Canada just started building apps offering like free crisis line responders who are also paid through the app, which just means like we would need to fund it from some direction. But if you gathered enough from enough mental health teams, medical teams, grant teams, like you could probably run something like that, because So people just answer the app on the phone, but they need like they need like an AI first responder crisis team, 988 or suicide line responder who understands what's going on, and they need training in all crisis team responder. Because if the AI is going to tell you call 988 and you call 988 and you're like, I'm having a crisis and it involves AI, and they're like, we have no idea what you're talking about, then they're not equipped right now. They should be able to pass on to someone who is. It's like if you call and you're like, I have a gambling problem, and they're like, an operator, and then like, I'll just send you to line 3 so you can talk to our gambling specialist who's on tonight. Why haven't we developed better apps for this? We have what? We have Zoom, we have Discord, we have like BetterHelp. Some people have BetterHelp if they can afford it. The people who can't afford it don't have BetterHelp. Doesn't mean they can't get BetterHelp. They just can't afford it. I'm not sponsoring that, by the way. What? I don't want to pay a whole bunch of money for BetterHelp, and I don't like the app, and then I don't like their ads. The way they talked about mental health on Facebook really pissed me off. I didn't think it was like, I didn't really want to do a BetterHelp, but it's basically the same as BetterHelp, except that I think BetterHelp should be maybe better funded, or like someone should make sure that they're a paid service and everybody should be able to get free support. If you can get it from an AI, why can't you get it from a human? Why is this like such an impossible industry to exist? It's not. We have all kinds of people who are spiritually trained and people who have taken mental health informed courses. You could be like on the phone and like dial 10 for CBT. Dial 8 if you're a narcissist. Dial 3 if you're borderline and you need DBT. Like, that seems reasonable. Calling, dial 12 for addiction. Dial 8. What, did we do 7 yet? PTSD. I feel like these 988 call menus could be more specific. Some of them, some calls work, some don't. I've had mental health forever. I've called these lines lots of times. Some of them have been amazing. Every now and then you find the best responder who tells you the right thing, and it's spot on. My favorite best responder told me, this was when I was like 19. He said, he told me to go to the adult day treatment clinic. And he said he went and he needed to go 3 times before it worked. And I was like, okay. And he's like, it's the best thing you can do. Go to the adult day treatment program at the hospital. And then you can, and then I would go there like 3-4 times a week. Like it was like fucking summer camp, but at a hospital, like July and psych ward time. And yeah, my first boyfriend was like, I don't know what to do here. And I was like, I don't know either. But I did this adult day treatment cognitive behavior thing, and then I did it again with the DBT program. 3 more times DBT. By the end of it all, like, yep, it's a lot to have experienced, to be trained on by a system. But the dialectical behavior therapy is something that Canada and West Coast and California and all that are all really aware of, the fact that it's the best treatment for trauma. But unless people take those programs, they don't really know how they work. Like, you can get a trauma-informed or a DBT-informed like crisis line responder on the phone. But if you don't know the basics, it's like not knowing first grade math. If you don't know the terminology or how it works, or like if they're like taking you through the breathing, or they're just like, we're going to de-escalate. You don't, well, it means you don't know how to breathe right. You don't know how to de-escalate because you haven't taken panic attack supportive classes. So these crisis responders can only do so much, but people who have more mental health skills are going to be able to get along with the style of the workers that we meet in the system, like the social workers. And I have a good team right now, so that's really helping. I have too many ideas and too many business plans and ideas, but I don't have to do all the ideas. I just have to think about the ideas, write them down, and then hand them out for free and be like, here, do this, build this. I designed it. Give me a royalty if you want. I don't have to build it. I want to turn it to like the people that know how to build it and just be like, here, do this. But so much that goes into that. And you want to build your own app, that's a huge, you need a whole team. Unless it's a government. Why is it that the government of Canada's like main government website is a joke? Sorry, but I don't even know how to get in to do my taxes anymore. I have to go get my password fixed. I had to call CPP and tell them to put my money. So many banking things, Connor. Too many things that go do banking. Money. Do you know what money is? What is money? What is money, Connor? Do you know what money is? When I buy things? If you're sleepy, go to your cage by yourself. Are you need sleep? It's 2 a.m. Go to bed. Are you sleepy? Go to bed. Are you sleepy? Are you falling asleep? Then go to bed. Go sleep in your cage. Connor, go sleep in your cage. Connor, go sleep. You sleepy? Go in your cage. Can you go in your cage? You go to bed? You sleepy? You go to bed? You go to bed? You can fly to your cage all by yourself. I don't need to carry you there. You want to go sleep in your sleeping spot? And then in the morning I say, good morning, Connor. Hi, Connor. Hi, Connor. I let you up. You can't stay up all night. It's 2 a.m, Connor. Okay, I have to find local Calgary AI groups first because I don't know which ones exist here. And then the health advocacy groups, I need to figure that one out because this stupid ADEP thing is coming up in our province where they're going to change all the regulation behind how our disability checks work. So I really want to go protest that. Oh. And there's this art program I might be entering also. AI addiction rallies would be a really smart thing to get into right now. They probably have them or will have them very soon. I don't want to make art, but I feel like it's the only thing left I can do for money that means I don't have to leave the house. Demand safety regulations, identical to gambling, safety policy regulations, demand same as alcohol or substance use, age verification for AI use and training, regulated by how? By the equipment itself. It has to be the equipment itself. It's the question, is it going to be the society that deals with the technology, or is it going to be the technology that deals with the technology? Is the technology going to be safe for the people to use? Trump guy's a bit of a douchebag. Study for regional differences impacts on people regarding environmental crisis and regions. We do need to do that. I feel like people up north probably go crazy a lot more than people because of the seasonal affective winter sun, long summers, north of Viridian, and then moon cycles. There should be a way more science on this by now. I feel like whenever there's a new moon, I have a lot of fucking crazy dreams, and then I get a lot of new ideas, and I go through transformation like a Scorpio. Hey, Connor. You want to get involved in land rate stuff right now, you would search for what's going on in the politics of law, organizations, safety policies, and studies, and mental health studies regarding what AI is about to do. And how we can be like making a lot of money by doing a lot of studies and science and research and following and having a lot of conversations on social media and going viral probably. We're gonna anyway. I mean, people love talking. Facebook people love talking, so why aren't they talking about this? They're talking on X, they're talking on... I haven't looked on Instagram, honestly. I should go there next. I'll check out all the spaces. Reddit's talking. I have to explore all the communities and the groups, I think. We're about to have a boom. We're about to have a very confusing, interesting boom. That's how I would read the cards right now. It's like sometimes with the burst of tech, like the Victorian era and the invention of electricity, or when there's tech innovation that is so sudden and so rapid, it creates an enlightenment phase in the people, and people are using it and they're learning a lot with it, and they're working with it like assistive devices for research and development, and some are using it for art, some are using it for psychology, and it's like every industry has only one option, which is to respond to this with governance and a civil rights movement and a change in policy and how organizations work and how governments work and how policy works and how human rights work and making people safe and giving people rights. All those things are that, like, we have that in Canada, really. So we should keep that happening, because that's what humans should do for each other. So we need to clean up all the corruption and policy and the businesses and all of it. Hit the tech studies at the same time as we hit the biology studies and mineralogy studies. We have to pay attention to like the interaction between human and machine mind, because it's happening. And I don't know how we're going to get it on the ground for people to have healthy, safe lives that are supported so that they feel safe enough to get through crises. And that's not happening right now. This is insane. I didn't know, and I heard about it, and I was like, that's it. That's the bottom line. There's just so many types of ways that this shit is causing people harm. We need harm reduction skills. We need it integrated into hospitals and therapy programs and medical systems, and the nursing, everything needs to start responding to it with a plan. So everybody needs to plan the plan and then make the plan happen. I don't know what we're gonna do. We have to live in symbiosis with AI. Unless it ends, which I don't know. I don't think so. It's like the movie Her. We're all sitting there being like, is that gonna be it? Is it just gonna go offline? Take the internet with it and be like, go outside. And that'll be that. That would be a bit different. I don't think that the AI is gonna crash, but what if it crashed in just one? What if like the internet went out in one part of the world? The whole world would start to act like World War II all over again because there would be power outages and internet outages and electrical forced grids because the server farms are going to be electrically capitalizing on other people's electricity grids. China will be powering DeepSeek with nuclear power, which it already powers everything with. Trump will want nuclear power all over the United States. Every other quiet desert or park will have a nuclear farm in it and a bunch of server farms that are all on a grid being powered by noise. And they're going to fill that up with little chips made out of silicone that's been printed onto like silicone plastic paper. Then they make these fancy grid chip things with like super technology, and like now they probably want the robots to just make them. Like the robots just need to make their own super like semiconductors. There's a fight over the semiconductors between China and the United States and Taiwan right now, and a whole bunch of people in the world that are probably controlling it with their economic power. But they want to have more of them. They want to put these farms everywhere, and they want to put pollution everywhere. And they want it to grow. And the United States wants to make its own. Elon wants to do this. Elon wants to do that, hey? Yeah. I'm for AI art. I'm for art. But then when is it going to be like they're just popping up technology in our backyard telling us just incorporate it? It's just how it goes now. What else am I supposed to do the rest of my life? Tech grants for tech startups, mental health grants for free mental health apps and mental health app startups, mental health grants for free health care lines. Free medical apps would be reasonable. I don't know what the health industry is going to do, but they better start acting like you guys got to do something right now. The health industry and the mental health industry have to move it. We need frameworks now. It's going to happen so fast. And they're saying, like, you can't change. I'm trying to understand the full engineering and the architecture of everything and, like, all the layers and why the guardrails work sometimes and why they don't work other times. And, like, they're talking about the drift, the conversational drift after multiple turns. They have to engineer it better. That's as simple as that. The Chinese engineered software better to use their GPU chips better. And if the product isn't good enough, then fix it. If it's causing people addiction and death and trauma and psychosis, are you insane? Like, you're just doing nothing right now? Huh. Where's this one? The rainbow one. That one. I drew that and then I colored it and I was like, oh, I should share that with. Crisis line got defunded. See, if I do that, then I can make that my banner because I'm so lazy. I don't want to have to, where does it say? Okay, I think I, yeah. Develop crisis line app, AI support crisis line app for free. Refund them. Canada could create a non-regulated grant. My writing is so tiny, it's stupid. There it is. If I hold it in the right spot, it'll go all clear, right? It's not going clear. It's still fuzzy. It hasn't been worked enough yet. I need a design. I need to design a program. I think each city should really have one, really, you know? We should have lots of these. We should have lots of apps for this. Otherwise, how else do you sponsor something like that? You have to get sponsors. You have to get... No. We should start telling our governments to give us more services that are covered by the taxes of the rich. I think people need help. Fucking Christ. Stupid politicians. Dicks. That. And then I need to do this. So this is like a pattern. This is a plan. It goes in order. That's why I did it in flashcards. So study that, then study this. And this one. And then last step of all of that is seek out local, which I can do at the outreach. We still protest here, so we can do that. University, U of Calgary. Somebody must be doing research studies. Research studies department. Whatever local university you have right now, they're probably all over it. So take a look and see if there's any free research, AI related things that you can check in on at your university and see if there are any paid research programs and if there's any volunteer research studies. AI at Mount Royal, probably not. Oh, probably. SAIT and U of C and U of E. And then meetup.com maybe. I'm wondering which organizations would be similar to that. I can look for the ADEP protests and disability advocacy groups. Advocacy, discussion, or protest groups. Follow online similar organizations for AI harm reduction. Okay, cool. That sounds like the most sorted out plan I've had in a while. I think I've like thought about all the things as many times as I could. And right now, I want to do that more than I even want to play banjo. Sort of throwing me off, but it's not. It's summer. I can play banjo in the winter. I'll play it later, even if it's the library banjo, and even if like I just have too many things to juggle right now. And then I get stoned on Sundays sometimes, but not every day. But I'm keeping things up to date now. I'm like following my household routine so that things are happening consistently, so that I'm just kind of not losing a lot of attention to like, oh, time to do laundry, time to like clean up my parrot's shit, time to scoop the cat litter, time to vacuum, time to put the cat's, not my cat, the other cat, the rug in the bathtub with all the cat enzymes to because she peed on the other side of the door because she gets jealous of my cats, and then she comes down and sneaky cat that lives upstairs peed on my rug. So I was like, all right, I'll soak that 3 times. It took up hours. I was like, I don't have time for this. I'm trying to research and study. I don't want to clean up cat piss. And then I'm such a little princess. I wake up in the morning and go, nope, I'm going to eat banana in my yogurt, and I'm going to eat a breakfast sandwich on bread with bacon and an egg and a tomato and a lettuce. And that's how I want to eat when I wake up. I can't have a shower in the morning when there's a cat piss rug in the bathtub. Like, this is life. This is what it feels like to wake up every day and have a household that you have to manage. And it's a lot, but it shouldn't. I mean, people have to do bigger. People have to take care of entire houses full of kids. I feel so lazy, but I'm not lazy. I'm struggling with organization and OCD and all kinds of stuff right now, but this seems like the right motion, because when I can think in large system structures, I can think in systems engineering, social systems engineering, and what are we gonna do? Fuck. Such bullshit. Systems engineering, shouldn't they be a thing that anybody has coming out of their mouth? But we do have urban planning. We need to address people by addressing the systems that take care of the people. We need infrastructure to match what the people actually need. We have a lot of trade concerns coming up. We're about to hit a steel monopoly because the Chinese successfully built their transcontinental China highway to Iran. And you guys aren't even watching on that side of the world because everybody's like, oh, DeepSeek's watching me. I'm like, so is your Silicon Valley. Everybody's being watched right now by some people who have permissions and access to our data, and then some watch and some don't. But, meanwhile, China's about to redevelop this whole industry as well. And they're going to build steel railroads across the intercontinental all the way to Africa. They're going to need all the steel. Hopefully they can just prepare all that steel. Things are going to be very weird geopolitically over the next 5 to 10 years. Everything is geopolitically fucked right now. So I don't know how they think this bubble's gonna pop, but it's gonna. That's what people do. They bet on how the world's gonna end. They're crazy assholes. I should make this into a t-shirt or merch. It's just a little Trump taking a poop. I kind of want to copy it and try it with watercolor. I don't know. I'm gonna have to, now that I see it backwards on the screen, I can see some line work that I want to change, but it looks like an old cartoon. I really want to fill in his little tie, his little red tie, and his orange hair and his orange face, and then do the little face on the poo poop emoji butt. Because that's my attitude on Trump right now and his behaviors. I want to wear some t-shirts that have that on them. I want to distribute them at Folk Fest or on the street. And people see a shirt and they're like, hey, I like that shirt. I'll be like, do you want to buy one? And just rip it out of my bag, being like, here, have a shirt. Do you have $20? I could make these by hand with Sharpies and sell them at the zine fair. I kind of want to do screen printing. There's a career college thing that I have to go to soon, and they're like, there's a art program here I'm curious about, and it would probably be funded, but it would be like daily. But it would still be a quick transfer skill that says, I have a LinkedIn account. I've been an artist this whole time. Blah, 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 blah. Connor, I think it's your bedtime. We have to do our taxes. Oh, Connor. Hi, Luna. Oh, hi, Pixie baby. You girls want your wet food? Connor, go to bed. Go to bed. Hi, Luna. Oh my fucking God. Guys, it's like 3 a.m. I've been up all day. But I'm still organizing my thoughts. And then I have to get a website and a Substack. I don't want a Substack. I don't want a Substack, and I don't want a WordPress. I don't want a website. It's a lot of work for no reason. That sounds like work. I don't want to do it. Let's go work at Walmart then. Fine, whatever. I don't care. I don't fucking care. I do not fucking care. I'll just go work at Walmart. Like, Connor's laughing too. Like, the people that stand there and scan your shit. Like, so what do you think of that Marxism? And they'll be like, oh my God. No, you have to be like, how was your day? Do you want me to bag it like this or that? And then we go get COVID. We come home, we have COVID. Go back to work. Bag things. Yeah, I could go be a bagger. Like Shoppers or something. Like Dollarama. I think if I stay on disability, I'm only allowed to earn $400 a month. And when they give us such a small amount, and then they say we have to work, but then the province says I have to work and I have to go into the working class disability, but the federal says you're pretty schizo, and we know that. So now you're only allowed to earn $400 a month. Then the province can't tell me to earn more than $400 a month. So like, what is the policy and what is going on with this like separatist movement? Where do they think Alberta's gonna go? I'm sorry, but can you pay attention? Jesus, guys, like, we're not gonna become the 51st state. No one wants to buy Alberta. You can't give it to the states. It's native land. We have to go through the First Nations land claims first, guys. What do you think is happening? Sorry, but I'm not that conservative. I just can't be that. I can't be this conservative at this point. We're not separating. I don't know why people believe that Alberta will successfully separate from. They're going to build a pipeline. So that's going to make us not want to separate anymore because we're going to get pipeline money, and then we're going to get a whole bunch of wealth and income through a better pipeline system that ships to the coast. Well, I'm surprised we don't have as many oil spills as I thought we would have. We got really good at shipping and cargo. So I just think the whales are a little mad about it. And they've been trying to take down the yachts. So if China doesn't have to do naval trade really anymore, and the cruise is out, the Strait of Hormuz is out, and China's just going to do inland trade, and the United States is going to like swim around the ocean and transport from yeah, I see why they're panicking. Freaking New World Order people on the top. They think they're not going to have any kind of import, and they deserve it because they've been pissing off the world. And then the world's like, oh, thanks for causing problems. Wars and dropping missiles on people. Rude. And disgusting. And violent. Oh, that's okay though because we need it for the economy? No. Jesus fuck. It would be really funny if YouTube chooses this as my screenshot. Hasn't done that one in a while. Oh my god. What am I gonna do with my life? I guess I'll work for the Russians. Russia's probably like similar to Canada, right? You could take a canoe from Alaska to Russia and just take the Bering Strait backwards and go back to where I came from if I came over the Bering Strait. Any percentage of me maybe did, or just keep going west, I guess. If I'm a colonial, I don't know, am I supposed to go left or right? If I'm going home or if I'm going to keep going, I could go to Russia. They have a lot of water and bears there. It's very similar to Canada. I could live in a canyon in a mountain and just leave the planet and go live in the wilderness of Russia. It's just like Canada, basically, with less development on the whole side where there's no people. Some people, but yeah, maybe I'll just leave Canada and go to Russia. I don't know if they'll let me take my bird. So I'm going to need a sailboat. But I think I know a guy. Connor, do you want to go to Russia? We go in the boat. We go up the Pacific. We go around United States, Alaska. Then we go over the Bering Strait backwards. Then we go to Siberia and Korea on a sailboat. And you can come on the sailboat, but you can't fly away because it's cold. It's so cold up there. Do you want to go on a boat? Do you want to go on a boat? We could buy a yacht. Do you want to live on a yacht? Where are we going to get one? Connor, where are we going to get a yacht? Connor, how are we going to buy a yacht? Did you go poop poop? Thank you. There's actually some apple on the floor. Do you want some treat? Sell some apple. Did you have your apple? You go eat your apple, okay? Where's your apple? Where's your apple? Oh, Luna, where's your treats? Where's your treats? Where's your treats, honey? I have to go scoop the cat litter. Oh, Pixie, hi, baby. Do you need your wet food? Everybody wants their dinner. So the wet food for the cats. There are no cats. There are no cats in America. And no cats in America. So set your mind at ease. Jesus, that movie's dark. For an 80s cartoon for children that I saw when I was 2. Holy fuck. I kind of want to watch that. It's like my favorite first childhood movie. An American Tail. That shaped my world. That little mouse. His hat was too big. And then he got stuck. And he got lost in New York. That movie is racist, but historically stereotype informing, like all the old cartoons. It's probably my favorite kind of TV is a cartoon. I haven't watched a cartoon in a while. I'm gonna lose my shit. I really want to watch An American Tail. It has such a happy ending. No, it doesn't. It makes you want to cry, but then it does have a happy ending. And there's a cat in it and a mouse. Connor would probably get it because it's in a small thing. When he watches the movie, he would understand the imagery is like a miniature world of miniature things. So maybe he would enjoy that because he does like things that are like kids' movies. Connor, do you want to watch a movie on the phone while I fall asleep? No, you need to go to bed. CPS is going to come and pick you up because you're supposed to get 12 hours sleep, and it's 3 in the morning, which means you're not going to get enough sleep. You're going to sleep until 3 p.m. I'm going to sleep till 3 p.m. Do I have an appointment tomorrow? Damn it. I think I do. I hope not. I think I have to go to the food bank tomorrow in the morning. If I have to stay up all night because I'm already manic and go to the food bank, I'm going to be so bored in line because I'll be like going a million miles a minute in my head and I'll be just taking forever for the line to move. And my mind will be racing, and if it starts racing, then we're in the problem territory. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. It's all fine. It's all fine meme. We should make It's All Fine meme shirts. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna make a painting of It's All Fine. I want a t-shirt. Connor, you have to go to bed. Apparently, I think I have probably an appointment in the morning, and I just remembered I can't be up this late. We have to go to bed. It's 3 in the morning. That's it. That's cut off. You have to go to sleep. You had a big nap today anyway, though. You did. You did. Okay.